Listen, if it's October and we're talking to AJ Hinch, it means one thing. Someone let the Tigers get hot. AJ, good morning.
Good morning. It's nice to, believe it or not, it's nice to talk to you guys. I'm glad we're still playing.
We're super excited that you're still playing. And I want to ask you this because obviously we get a chance to see when you clinch a playoff spot or you beat the Astros, the cameras are in the locker room. Do you have the direction that you want to go if it happens pre-planned because you're so good at the post-game?
The one-liners?
Yeah, the one-liners. Like, are those pre-planned at least a little bit?
A little of the theme of this team. If you look at our group, we're all in it together. And so I do know our team. I know what resonates with them. Obviously, there's some things that go on behind closed doors that you guys may not know about that I know will strike, an emotion with our group. But, it's kind of an out-of-body experience when you're in that moment because you do want to nail it. You want your team to go. And especially this group, we have so many guys doing this for the first time. And, to be able to show, this group, how fun it can be in October is awesome. So there's some themes on our team. Obviously our the type of team we want to be, whether it's the Jake Rogers quote of "Don't let the Tigers get hot." Those are all fun team things that we talk about a ton, and you always want to bring it back to what got us here.
But you guys are more than just a hot team. Like, we've reached that point now where, this is a good team. What makes this team so good? Yeah,
I'm really glad you said that because I have to fight that sometimes when I'm at the podium. And this is not just a good stretch. We have shown that over a couple months that we are, we're pretty tested. We're pretty resilient. Obviously, we have a lot of guys that contribute. We are the true definition of a team, and we do find a way. I don't know what it is about late games with this team, and trust me, I don't want to lose the lead and all of a sudden have to come back against these monster bullpens. But there's something about this team that allows us to stay grounded and in the moment, and we will fight to the end, and we find a way. And it's always somebody a little bit different. It doesn't have to be the middle of the order batter. It doesn't have to be Tarek Skubal as our ace pitcher. It's a lot of guys doing a lot of good things, and I think the fact that we played so many close games makes us comfortable, in these stress events of these close games.
This is one where it's hard to quantify, but how much does confidence play a factor into the success of this team, especially in the postseason when you see Parker Meadows get up there and rip a home run and then Andy Ibanez get up there and take some really good swings? It's just they're so aggressive at the plate right now, so aggressive on the base pass. How much does confidence play into that aggressive mindset?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of confidence and fearlessness. We are not afraid. We did not play great. We played really well, but we made a lot of mistakes. We butchered an inning with Parker on first with the Parker bunt that went right to Bregman, and then Parker gets picked off, and we ran into an out at second base. But we have to have a sense of fearlessness so that the aggressiveness comes out, and you see Jake Rogers go first to third, which ended up being a key play, or you see Parker Meadows beating out a double play, and then all of a sudden we get 3 singles and score in game 1 against Houston. So I think confidence grows, experience matters. I tried to downplay it because I didn't know how our guys were going to react in the first playoff game. But one thing that my staff and I have tried to instill in these guys is we've been playing playoff baseball for 2 months. Our backs were against the wall from the beginning of August. And we, I don't want to say desperate because that sounds like too dramatic of a word, but we've been playing all hands on deck for the better part of 2 months. So we don't have to play any different now. We've been doing this as our style of play, for the better part of 2 months. So our players are bought in. They're all in. I almost hit for Torque the other day. He was going to be on the top step, but then he goes up and draws a walk, and Andy comes off, and McKinstry's not pouting. Our team dynamic is second to none.
That's the voice of Tiger manager AJ Hinch this morning. Moving on to the ALDS. Skubal game 2 on regular rest. What's the plan with him?
Yeah, Tarek will pitch game 2. I'm going to talk to Fett. We have a staff meeting this morning at the hotel. We have a workout later today. We've got to set the pitching. We're still trying to decide, are we going to go with 13 pitchers or 12? We carried 12 in the in the 3-game series. The off days are really on our side when it comes to how we're using our pitching. There's an off day today. There's an off day after tomorrow. There's an off day at home. So there's only one set of 2 games we play back-to-back in a 5-game series. So we're still considering 12 pitchers. Tarek obviously will pitch the second game. And then you do the math, it lines them up for a game 5 if that's necessary. So, we're still sorting through what game 1 is going to look like. I mean, it kind of feels weird. If we go with Olsen to start, we'll have back-to-back regular starters. I don't know if we can handle that.
Is that allowed?
I know, exactly. I think it is allowed, but we might do it. But I love opening the game with Tyler Holton too. So we're considering a couple different options, but it's fun to have to map it out.
One of the discussion points that came out of that win, the second win against the Astros, was the use of Jackson Jobe. What went into the decision to use him in that moment, and then how do you think he handled the situation?
So I went to him for a couple of reasons. One, I love his stuff, and I think he can be a very big weapon in October, and obviously he's going to be a high-end starter for us moving forward. But going into next year. But I think where we were at in the order, the way we were using our pitching, I needed some sort of bridge to get to the back end of the game. We were at the bottom of the order. He has a ton of weapons for left-handed hitters that led off with Caratini with a 92-mile-an-hour cutter. It clips his jersey. And then, the soft single that Pena fights off. We don't play the bunt. He ends up hitting a soft ground ball. Torque throws the ball in the dirt. The fly ball to Bierling. And all of a sudden, it looked like a way worse inning than it actually was. He's a really good pitcher. I have a ton of confidence in him. I thought he handled it great. I told him after the game, the fact that he came back and made nasty pitches to Singleton and Altuve shows me that he can handle this moment. So I know when it doesn't work out, I know October, man, everything is questioned. Everybody's curious about it, but we needed 9 outs. And if you look at Will Vest getting a portion of those, I was trying to get the bridge to be able to, and Gunther I thought was going to get Tucker and Alvarez at some point. So those aren't guaranteed outs either. So the volume of outs drove me to either Jackson or Casey or Ty. Went with the stuff and just kind of got nickeled and dimed. So I'm glad he got the experience now. Obviously we won, so everybody can breathe a little bit easier, but I thought he handled it great.
You mentioned something earlier. I don't want to gloss over it. You said home games, home playoff baseball next week at Comerica Park. It's something that you've talked about maybe in a broader sense since you took over here. What's it going to mean to have a home playoff game at Comerica Park?
It's going to be incredible, and I know tickets are hard to come by. I know that the fan base is ready to go, and we've seen it. When the clinching night, I think, was one of the most special nights for our team. It was packed house. It's home game. It was Friday night, and I know it's going to be even better for a home playoff game. So this city and this fan base has waited a long time for a team to be proud of, and we've earned our way back to having October baseball in Detroit at Comerica. Is going to be rocking, and hopefully, we need to get a win or two here in Cleveland and come back with an even bigger home field advantage, with our people coming out.
I noticed you gave a little love to Jared Goff the other day as Jared Goff says, let's go Tigers. Campbell has also been a big proponent of you guys. Just what has it meant to see the Lions and really everybody in the city rally around you guys?
Yeah, we fed off the Lions last year. I mean, they captured the city's attention and it was an incredible environment. Our players were all over what the Lions are doing. Obviously, we're connected to the Wings as well, and we love winners. And I love the fact that these guys are, they were playing our game at the Red Wings game. They're the Lions guys, Dan and Jared are giving us a ton of love. I love the Tiger hat on Jared on national TV game, and I've actually gotten to know him a little bit over the last few years, and so it's fun banter back and forth. And I made sure I sent him the clip to know that I gave him a little bit of love and on the baseball side. So Detroit sports right now, I think is starting to be a very, very fun place to be and a fun group of teams to root for, and we want to keep up our part.
That's a Cal Stanford rivalry, right? You too?
Yeah, I've gotten over that. I've gotten over that. Now that we're ACC, it's hard for me to even know who we're rivals with.
Right, exactly. It's bizarre.
Tiger Manager AJ Hinch, good hearing your voice. We'll check in with you again later, I'm sure.
You got it. Appreciate you guys.
All right. That's Tiger Manager AJ Hinch is 97.1.